So our squad is like heavily melee, sorry, not melee, but close range focused at the moment. Hey, Jane.
Hey there! Got word on the wireless. Your flag's cleared, you're free to go. Hope you enjoyed your time on Groundbreaker, the last free port of call in all the colony.
Is that the real slogan? If I never set foot on this decrepit rust bucket again, it'll be too soon, or good luck with your board problems. Good luck with your board problems.
We don't need luck. We got June Lei.
I killed them. Not gonna thank me at all. Takes the heat off of you doing long range. Yeah, exactly. That's the primary reason that I specifically wanted those to be like all up close and personal. Pretty much all of my companions are built for up close and personal, just so that I can be at range and pop everyone off. Hey, Wheeler.
If it isn't the savior of Groundbreaker, what can I do for you?
See you around.
You see?
Just wanted to check to see if you had any more dialogue for me. You don't, we'll bounce. Excuse me? If no one's going to see me take these. I don't really need them, but I do want them. The crew of the sailors are vast, an ocean of empty void. The moonshine light upon the people and dispels the injustice of materialism and capitalism. What I'm trying to say is I think this is the Sailor Moon crew, pretty much. I mean, in the Minecraft series, I am Sailor... I think I'm Mars in that series. Which I honestly didn't even remember I had that as my my installed skin until we started the series. I was like, oh, whoops. Well, not whoops, it's more... Huh.
This is Halcyon.
Forgot that I had that.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
Okay, don't need any of that. Fine, let's just go back to the main area now. Just love Obsidian's work, but it means I can't watch you stream. That is totally fair. Enjoy the game yourself, sincerely. I avoided all spoilers for this game, and it was the correct thing to do. So I will catch you around, Silicon Mind. Thank you for tuning in for the time you did. Feeling extra chilly? No, I'm leaving. Alright, fine. Let's actually go to Gladys. Although I actually think I might already have the other key card in here, right? No, it requires a rest and go key card that I don't have. Fair. Hey, Gladys.
Have you had a moment to look into that little opportunity I told you about on Roseway?
Woo, have I ever.
Hurry up. Someone will get to snooping around there before you do.
I investigated the distress signal. My engineer wants to do some deep cleansing, wants to impress Chief Junlei. I mean, I've got so many missions to do here, but let's go with the investigated the distress signal first.
What's that? Speak up now.
About those secrets you asked me to look for.
What'd you turn up?
Life 35 and Science 20. I found a formula for experimental rocket fuel. Seems like pretty advanced stuff. I found this... Oh, right. So I'm lying to make it more valuable to sell it for more. Fine. I acquired some research on Rhapsody Mask. I found the schematics for a prototype weapon. I kind of want to lie.
My stars, what a find. Fine picking like this deserves an equally fine payout. Go on, dearie. And don't spend it all in one place.
How much? I don't know if that was necessarily worth it. Hopefully she doesn't find out. Rhapsody Mask.
Pardon me, sweetheart. My old ears must have misheard you. Did you say Raptidon? Gracious, someone must have hauled them off Monarch. Naughty, naughty. A couple of folks around here might pay a fair few bits for this. Might even be able to start a bidding war.
I also found schematics for a prototype weapon from Force, and I'm selling.
Peaches and cream, if that isn't the most handsome bit of lethal engineering I've seen all week. That'll go for a tidy sum of bits.
If I knew... I think that's it.
That's plenty, my dear. And more than I thought you'd find. You got a knack for snooping. Law bless you for doing the leg.
What'll happen to those secrets I sold you, actually?
I'm afraid that's confidential, my dear. A matter of customer privacy. I'd wager you'd demand the same. Were you here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies... Any...
Alright, what was my most recent save? Because I want to see if I can actually pass that. I think it was literally just before going in the door. Because my persuade is really, really high. I just haven't actually encountered that many circumstances where I needed to use it. So dialogue skills, put that on there. I think I might already be over it just with that. Well, persuade is just a little low. Still, it was 78 if I recall correctly. So pop a med that has anything to do with, not mind skills, but... Well, it would be mind skills, right? Ints, no. What are they called? Personality, alright, so I need to get drunk. Use that, and then... That's a 78.
Have you had a moment to look through that?
Like,
You don't hurry up. Someone will get you snooping around there before you do.
drunkenness worked. Or rather, I think it will. I'm going to skip through the rest of the dialogue that we've already done. Persuade. That excursion you sent me on was no cakewalk, lady.
Fair's fair. No one ever said old Gladys was a cheapskate. No, ma'am. And I'm not about to let them start. Here, consider it hazard pay.
Interesting. It actually bundled all of the things that were taken from me and given to me. Okay, that persuade was... Ooh, because the high cost gave me a decent amount of experience. And... yeah, it doesn't look like it gave me anything extra. That much, at least.
Plenty, my dear. And more than I thought you'd find. You got a knack for snooping. I ought to just hire you next time, instead of those sublight lunkheads. Law bless you for doing the legwork, sweetie. Don't forget your friend Gladys now. You can come visit anytime.
Literally drinking to muster up the courage to ask for more cash. Agreed.
I'm afraid that's confidential, my dear. A matter of customer privacy. I'd wager you'd demand the same were you the one buying. You here for a particular reason?
That's why I always make sure that I'm blind drunk before I go in for my performance review. So that I can ask for that raise. Engineer deep
I think
cleaning.
I got just the thing, my dear. A few years back, Auntie Cleo's put out a home makeover kit, and I snagged a couple for myself. High-grade shampoo and conditioner, scrubby brush, a nice lotion, that sort of thing. I still got 'em too.
What's the scrubby brush for?
Cleaning around your nails, sweetheart. Gets the engine grease out. Makes your hands soft. Most folk don't got the time. Or bathtubs for such, me included. I'll let you have one on clearance. You want rosish, mock apple and cinnamon, or refurbished ship?
Refurbished sip, obviously. You got a preference, Pavani?
Oh, gosh. We never talked about what kind of smells she likes. I think pretty much every spot on Groundbreaker just smells like old socks.
It comes down to what sort of intent you got. If I was looking to do a spy job over in engineering, I'd be safe with refurbished ship. Now, if I was a young thing trying to come on all precious-like, I'd probably go with rosish. But if I was doing it for my own self, I'd pick mock apples and cinnamon.
I guess you could eeny-miny mow it?
Take your time, dear. A lady's scent says a lot about her.
Mock apple and cinnamon. Pavati's sweet, just like a pie. Rosish, when it comes to rose mats, you can't go wrong with classics. An engineer might like refurbished ship, scrubbed parts and all that. We'll talk over and get back to you. I actually want to talk it over.
Take your...
Hey.
Groundbreaker's safe from melting to...
Do you have any opinion? What do you think of the new guy, Felix?
He seems like a nice boy to me. I'm glad you gave him a shot.
He didn't seem very bright. He seems like a risk. Or perception. I thought you didn't like strangers generally. That's not the answer I expected. My perception is lower because I'm drunk. Damn it. Doesn't seem very bright. Seems like a risk. Didn't seem very bright.
Not many folk have big pulsating space brains like you.
Galaxy
I
brain.
mean, sure, he's a bit rough around the edges. I bet he just needs somebody to show him a better path.
You seriously think it's I'm the right sort to put him on the right course in life? So you're saying I could sculpt him into an ideal minion? I was mostly thinking he'd be high in muscles. Say the first one.
You might might surprise yourself. Are we?
Get in trouble today? No, you're not going back to the ship. Okay, so apparently we couldn't talk it over. I wonder, like, should I ask Junlei what smells she's into? That kind of seems like a decent idea at this point. What were the other missions I had to hand in on here? We need to change our hat back immediately. Specifically within view of Martin. So he knows that I'm still repping the squad. Martin himself is an honorary member of the squad. Can't come out with this, but member of the squad nonetheless. I mean, I don't think Junlei would worry, because, like, Junlei has engine
The
grease
ship's
all
done
over as
something
well.
Fierce, but I can make time for you.
All right, well, we're not getting any information on that. So I imagine, like, use the terminal, see if I can find anything that says, oh, I like these smells. No. No. Also no. Fine. I think I'm going to go with Mock Apple and Synthamon, literally just because it's, if this is about you, right? If it's for yourself, and Poverty really needs to do stuff for herself. Needs to build that kind of self-esteem, that self-confidence.
Gracious.
I want
I
Pavati
was
to love
just
herself
sitting
as much
down
as
for
all of us
tea.
love her. Still have the scented soaps. Mock Apple.
Captain?
I'll just wrap that up for you, since it's for a special occasion.
I'll pay for that, ma'am. Thanks for being so helpful.
You're welcome, dear.
And so I actually have to buy it off of her? I thought that doing those missions was my way of actually getting it without having to pay for it. Do you always end up having to pay for it? I mean, pay for it or kill Gladys, I have to imagine. You should use that save file to check a reaction to each option. No, that kind of one I want to commit to. I think those missions gave you the money to pay for it. I mean, they did, but I kind of want to keep the money. You could somehow snag it. Probably not. All right.
Fantastic. Do be careful with it, dear, as these keys tend to be a tad hard to acquire. You should have a chat with Lilia Hagen in the sublight offices. She's a dear. You'll love her. Now, was there anything else?
I'm probably just gonna kill her, I gotta be honest.
It's...
Let's make sure that you don't have anything incredible for us. Nothing hiding here. There is a salvage's helper. Corrosive handgun. Light armor. 6 shots at a time, apparently? Is there pickpocket in this game? There is pickpocket in this game. But it's locked behind a certain level of sneak. Yeah, pickpocket. Steal from humans while sneaking. Oh my god! Oh, that's a good point. Well made, right? Alright, I want to see...
What was that?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have been able to get away with that without killing that spacer beforehand or something like that. I was just leaving.
Catch you around here again.
That gun looks really fun, TBH. It do, but I don't use handguns, and I also have other handguns that are probably at the moment better than it.
I'm gonna be able to set foot on a whole other...
Okay. Let's run over to Sublight. I feel like we're probably going to end up killing Lilia Hagen. Almost certainly. She's going to ask me to do something, and I'm going to ask her to die. I'm going to politely request.
You weren't followed, were you?
I've got a nav key.
Sure is. Welcome aboard, contractor. One of my guys in Stellar Bay has a lead on some high-grade salvage, but he went dark before he could spill the goods. We arranged a drop at the Saltuna warehouse's loading dock. Find whatever he left there and take it to Fallbrook. My gal Catherine will be expecting you.
I'll take the job. I mean, a drop and delivery? I can do that. What's Sublight doing in Fallbrook? What kind of salvage are we looking for?
A few of my contractors run flights in there and out again, working around with the board embargo. We keep the community lubricated with a steady supply of booze and unconventional erotica. Byzantium kids with more money than sense can thank Sublight for their good time.
How unconventional. Asking for a friend. Why do you need me if you have already people on the ground? How unconventional? I kind of got to know.
One of my guys filmed a Rhapsody grinding on an automech. Didn't end well for anyone, including the cameraman.
I'll take the job, or what kind of salvage? What kind of salvage?
When the board pulled out of Monarch, they buried or sealed anything they couldn't carry off-world. Apparently, one of Catherine's teams uncovered an abandoned lab with full tanks of Alta Vitae gas.
So I'm going after Alta Vitae gas. What exactly is that?
It's exactly 1 million bits per cubic meter. Before you get too excited, the only thing rarer than Alta Vitae gas is a reliable buyer. Dangerous stuff. Acid for the nucleon in your cells. It's no good to anyone outside of a lab.
Shame I already killed Anton. I'm gonna take the job.
Now, get going. Catherine will brief you on the details when you check in with her at Fallbrook. One last thing. When you're on the job, keep a pair of eyes in the back of your head. Understood?
Understood. What am I looking for? Shady? Anything I should know about Monarch? We'll go for the Monarch question later. We're gonna go sounds shady and what am I looking for?
Don't go looking for anything, except salvage. Just watch out. You'll do fine. Probably nothing to worry about.
I hope my perception isn't currently lowered because I really need to be able to push him on that.
Honest.
Well, look, with that level up, we are now an absolute marksman. Oh, and Pavati and Sam also leveled up at the same time. Lovely. Parvati, you will take plus 25% to tactical time dilation meter. When she performs her ability, I regain my tactical time dilation meter. Neat. Ranged weapon speed, no. Companion ability damage. Chance to reset ability cooldown on each use. I don't think I'm going to do a build that's like heavy, extremely heavy on ability usage. Sounds very useful. Yeah, having the extra time dilation. Her ability is pretty good. Her ability is pretty good, but like, you know, 3 of these are tied to her ability, right? I already use her ability. So I usually start a fight by TTD, headshot someone, and then send her in to stun someone, which will recover my TTD, and then I'll go for another shot again. It seems like this is probably the way we go for her. And then Sam, your next level up is extra damage to auto mechanicals. I probably don't need that. I almost certainly don't need that. Ranged weapon speed, no. Ability damage, no. Chance to reset ability on cooldown usage. I probably just increase the ability damage here. Cooldown reset would be amazing on dropkick. I'd be into it. Literally just so I could just stand there and just continue pressing V at a target and just watch him get back up and dropkick and get back up and dropkick. Be straight up like an infinite from STS. I think I've read this. Yeah, I have. Everything you're doing is perfectly legal. And then Lilia, let's talk to you again. Had questions.
My guy in Stellar Bay had a lead on some salvage. Find the lead and bring it to Catherine Malin at Fallbrook. She'll take it from there.
I understand that. Alright, never mind. Apparently I don't get to ask any of the other questions about danger. Pretty sure at this point we've handed in everything on the Groundbreaker, right? Passage to anywhere. Inform Dr. Wells. Oh, Dr. Phineas Wells. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to have to go to his area, or Arda can just do it for me. Fine. Weapons from the Void. That's Scylla. Scylla. That's Stellar Bay. Poverty. All right, let's do that. And that one's on Monarch. So the final thing that we have to do is don't bite the sun right now.
I hope this fancy soap we got is extra strength. I'm feeling a mite ripe.
So here's the soap.
Oh, thanks, Captain. I'm gonna put these someplace safe.
You paid for it. Why
In
am
the
I holding it?
messages, Junlei said her mama used to make this dish for Monarch. Dustback casserole. Salt tuna and xenogold needle mushrooms. And then for dessert, there's a thing called, sweetheart cake. It's made with almond paste and wax gourds. There's gotta be some place in Stellar Bay that can bake a casserole. And I heard tell there's a Rizzo's town near there called Cascadia, what specializes in sweets.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Thanks, Captain. I know I'm asking an awful lot, but I'm sure it's gonna be worth it.
It will. And frankly, like, my main quest is now this one. I really don't care. Like, the Galaxy, Lost Hope, whatever. No. This is just me trying to get Pavati and Junlei together. I'm being the ultimate wing woman. I kind of want to turn everyone's helmets back off, but I can't. I can't bring myself to betray the Moonmen. Anything else I need to do on the entire ship? Last check. No. I think the gender neutral term is wing fighter, like firefighter. Yeah, exactly. You replace them with fighter. Like fireman becomes firefighter. Policeman becomes police fighter. Mailman becomes mail fighter. It's perfect. It works across the board. All right, Ada.
Welcome back, Captain. Now
Dr.
that you
Wells.
have acquired a nav key to Stellar Bay, would you like me to contact Dr. Wells?
Put him on screen, doesn't this guy have a life? Put him on screen.
Well done. You'll love Monarch. Exotic climate, violent native species, fascinating culture, really. You'll need to speak with Hiram Blythe. He's known as the information broker, and for good reason. If anyone knows where I can find those chemicals, it's Hiram.
Good point, well made.
I need those chemicals to revive the Hope's colonists. They can help us fight back against the board. They can help us set things right. If we don't put a stop to the board, they're going to drive this colony toward a complete societal collapse. You'll see what I mean when you arrive on Monarch.
I think what the game is now trying to set me up for, and do not confirm, business fighter and garbage fighter, perfect. Do not confirm, but I think what it's trying to set me up for is now I'm actually going to visit a planet where things are, like, nice. Obviously, they're nice off of the back of the suffering of people on other planets, but I'll visit a planet where things are nice, and it'll try and make the case that, oh, you know, this is actually helping people. This is doing quite well. How are we faring over here in Space Odyssey 4? We're doing quite well. We've completed all the missions on Roseway. We've handed them in to Gladys, and we've handed them in broadly to the Groundbreaker, and now we're on our way to either Monarch or Scylla. Tell me what to do. Sounds like you've been to Monarch. Can you send him a message? Sounds like you've been to Monarch.
No, never. Monarch is a hotbed of political activity. I can't imagine why Hiram set up shop there. Cuisine, perhaps?
Hotbed of political activity. Sounds like fun.
I certainly wouldn't call it boring, especially if your idea of fun involves navigating a hostile biosphere populated by carnivorous monsters. You'll want to hire the services of a skilled guide. I recommend a hunter by the name of Nyoka. Frequents the drinking establishments of Stellar Bay. Very hard to miss. Once you have everything you need, make your way to Hiram Blythe's compound.
Thank you very much to Silly for gifting a tier 1 sub to Schmookle. Much appreciated. And Schmookle, welcome to Republic. Enjoy your emotes in chat. I have some questions for you.
Come see me in my lab. I'll answer any questions you have.
All right, I'm off.
Best of luck.
Well, I should probably go to Phineas's lab first, right? It's been a bit.
We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
All right, so who should I take in? Because Phineas has already met Vicar, as well as... You've already met the Vicar. Probably Sam would be interesting to take. And maybe Felix, because Felix is really dumb, and I think Felix will have some funny lines.
Tinkering at the workbench? I used to love watching Alex work. Now I like watching you.
Aww. Ada. I feel flattered, frankly. Poverty, we'll take Sam and Felix. Felix is cute, though. Agreed. Felix has giant himbo energy. Okay, cool. Nothing seems to have changed about this place. And my inventory is pretty much exactly where I want it for this. Annika's cookbook. I mean, that's probably what should be on... Yeah. That's what should be on you, and then I'll just destroy this grenade launcher as well. In a bit, I guess. Actually, Felix is also leveled up as well. Rebellion, plus 20% damage to corporate military. Thank you.
What's on your mind?
I'll be back. I'm really glad we had such a long conversation. You really answered all of my questions. Why did you ask me to come here? I hope you have some new messages or something like that. Oh, that will be for handing stuff in, I have to imagine. Oh, no, that's not gonna work. I think... Exactly, silly. I think he's just lonely. I think he just needed a friend. He just wanted you to look at the pig. Alright, he wanted to relive his time as a world-renowned sister pig breeder, I think it was. He could say something else at least, or didn't give me a hint to a thing, or respond to one of my companions. Dang.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aetherwave serial.
Actually, likely. Parvati's not there where she typically is. She's not even in the engine room.
I don't know if you watched the big finale, but you know that slick-looking spacer from All My Colonists? They got her playing the Queen of the Marauders.
Oh, no fooling? I'm gonna have to catch that one for myself.
Aww. What a wholesome friendship. And also, thank you for finally cleaning, Sam. Although, hang on, let's have a discussion with you.
Dust accumulation analysis. 2.5 years.
Alright, fine. Pick a Max, you got anything to say?
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of...
Nope, again. Fine. Looks like it's just time for us to bounce. Felix, have you got anything to say to me?
Good to see you, boss.
Good to see you too. Nope. So this would be over to Nyoka. We've done the relay. We haven't done Scylla. We haven't done Monarch. We have done Terra 2. We have done Phineas's. So there's Typhon, Hephaestus, Eridanus, Olympus, and there's multiple landing locations on each planet apparently, because Edgewater and Roseway, right? So I don't even know how far we are into this game. I'm gonna guess like 30%. Warning, dangerous to land in Cascadia. Alright, we'll go to Stellar Bay first. We have the most missions there. Jolly gosh, you put the pretentious preacher in the trans flag armor? Ryan, look!
Captain. No blockade is a match for my piloting skills.
Vicamax might be stuck up, might be a little pretentious, might be a little reserved, might be a little condescending, but Vicamax stands trans rights. And frankly, I agree.
Welcome back, Captain. Take...
Bounce. Real Tokuda, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Enjoy your emotes in chat and welcome back to the Republic. 2 months. What's up? Stellar Bay. Okay, so we need to take Vicamax. And Felix, right? Felix does better against corporate enemies, and there's corporate enemies here. And then Vicamax obviously has their quest. Sinsmark, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Enjoy your emotes in chat and welcome to the Republic. Vicamax and Felix, I think, yeah. Oh. These headphones are starting to get real uncomfortable. Whew. Been ridden hard and put away wet. I think I've had them for 5, 6, 7 years now. and use them every day for maybe 6+ hours. Sam can clear up with the core. I accidentally screwed the joke for myself because I read it, no, correctly. Oops. Thank you, Silly, for the slow clap that I was doing in my head. There's definitely something hidden around the edges here. There has to be, right? For someone jump and dash, because it does feel like this whole people telling me that I needed to level up dash really quickly was not true. I don't think there's been any loot that I've gotten exclusively because I have the dash. This place's music seems quite stellar. I honestly never even noticed the music in stuff like this. Insert captain's identification to initiate remote landing. We don't have that. Oh.
Hey, hold on there. I gotta sign you in. Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right?
Whatever, I'm not here for chit-chat. You seem surprised. Well, that is my ship on the landing pad right next to you.
I knew it. See, I made what you'd call a logical deduction. You must have seen those UDL gunships on your way in. There's only 3 of them these days. Still, they tend to scare folk off.
It takes more than a few gunships to scare me. What are they doing out there? What are they doing out there?
You may not have heard, you being new, but Stellar Bay hardly ever gets off-world traffic. Us being cut off by the board and all. Which means I never get to do this part, but I've been practicing, so here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna in Halcyon. Please state your name for the records.
Alex Hawthorne. Me? I'm Alex Hawthorne. If you prefer to discuss this discreetly, if you know what that mean. I'm gonna go with I'd prefer to rabble discreetly.
Aw, don't be like that. I never get to do this part.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Please.
Fine, I'm Captain Ryan.
Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill.
He does seem like a puppy. He has large puppy energy. Is Stellar Bay really that isolated? You're not what I expected to find on Monarch? Actually, yeah, you're not what I expected to find on Monarch. I thought this was going to be a corporate town.
Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up lots of nasty stories about raptidons and cannibals and whatnot. But that's all outside our walls. Mostly.
Did he just say raptidons and cannibals? I can't wait.
Stellar Bay really that isolated? Say the board's been lying around this place. Can we keep him? Can we keep him? I want to keep him. I want to take him. A Grim is not just for Christmas. You're going to have to be able to take care of him. Stellar Bay really that isolated? You know what? The board. Tell us about the board.
Oh, sure. It makes Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell.
Ah, the nostalgic stench of home. Can't say I miss the day-to-day of living in Edgewater.
Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's got lots to say on that subject. Kinda goes over my head, though.
Stellar Bay is really that isolated?
We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-worlders who do make it out here are sublight. They got a base in Fallbrook. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago.
I'm gonna have a look around town, Grim.
Mr. Sandra will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters, maybe you could tell him I did a bang-up job of welcoming you? Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe you could do me a favor?
I can, and I will do it in just a second. I'm gonna get myself a glass of water. I'll be off. Take care of Grim. Catch you around, John. Sleep well. I'm also, I do apologize. I'm gonna run the air conditioner for just a little moment to cool down the room because unfortunately it is heating up pretty significantly in here. Hydrate or die, my friend. I've chosen.
I got this Rizzo's Rangers tossball poster coming in on the next sublight shipment, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in?
I love how pedestrian some of the missions are. Like, I can ask about a poster, or I can go and destroy a bunch of auto mechanicals in a relay. People expect significantly varied things from me. Sure, I can ask about your poster. No. Who's the black hole? The poster sounds pretty valuable. Let's go for the second and third.
Boss, come on. Black Hole Birdie, the Hole Meister, the Hack Attack.
That's Bertie Holcomb, only one of the greatest tossball hackers ever. Everyone's heard of him, even on Monarch. We still get some of the games. You been living in a sulfur pit or something?
It's funny that I actually somehow managed to have both of the Tossball fans on my squad at the moment. I'm a little surprised that Vic and Max didn't interject there. Actually, I've been in hibernation for decades.
Oh, you're real funny. Guess I don't feel so bad for missing what goes on in the rest of Stellar Bay.
Poster sounds pretty valuable, bud.
I couldn't really say. I'm just a fan of the game. But the fancy collector types say the more people see these things, the less valuable they are. And I figure my poster's been passed around by more than a few people by now.
Sure, I can ask about your poster.
Thanks a bunch. Celia works for Mr. Sanjar in the MSI building next to the bar. She's always there, so you can't miss her.
I love the design of this quest. It's specifically so that you know where Mr. Sanjar is and go to him. Thank you very much, Silly, for the gifted tier 1 sub to Lego Kirby Twin. That's also, by the way, 50 gift subs at this point that you've reached in the channel. Good God. Thank you very much, Silly. And Lego Kirby Twin, welcome to the Republic. Enjoy your emotes in chat. They don't believe you've been frozen, the opposite of what happens to Fallout 4. Yeah, the whole, like, first-person thought out of an experiment that people don't necessarily believe. Well, not all people necessarily believe. It sounds a little far-fetched. That does actually seem like a swing they're taking at Fallout 4 as well. Because, God, that story did not handle that well. Ugh. And if I had to see another character just stand, look at me, and plot expo dump with absolutely no reason to trust me as a character. RPGs used to have unreliable narrators. So I found out that I clicked the stream link and didn't realize until 5 minutes later that Rai was talking. Hi, Ryan. Much love your way. Much love your way back. Shade. How's it going? Welcome to the stream for the day. MSI Sentinel. I got to admit, they look bad goddamn ass. I'll take that in front of you at the very least.
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah.
We're here, light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch clock peals, a worker earns his meals.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I thought you were quoting It's a Wonderful Directorate.
You have to love those passive conversations. There's a reason that I have to tune into each and every one of them. They're each and all pretty incredible. Nothing back there. I don't know why I thought peering my head around the side was going to help there. Like I'm going to get a different angle on it. Like. All right, Bennett.
Move along.
Styling Bennett, I gotta say.
Watch your step as you venture outside the walls.
Wrap mask and
There we
canid
go.
eyes, right here. Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in Raptidon tongue? Or maybe some canid toenails? You look like a woman who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts.
Mostly fresh. Why would I want any of that?
I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested. So I thought maybe I was onto something.
Who's Celia and Mr. Pickett? Who's Celia?
She works for Sanjar at MSI. She's also Stellar Bay's biggest collector of canid incisors. And I should know, because she buys them from me.
I don't think I have any of those, and if I did, they wouldn't have been classed as junk, I have to imagine. About Mr. Pickett.
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Mantiqueens, especially.
Stellar Bay, what are they about? They appear to be an independent-ish colony that split from the board, at the absolute least. And the board is effectively publishing propaganda everywhere, saying Stellar Bay is just full of raptidons, don't go there, you'll die, but it's just a city. That's all we know so far, at least. Have you ever seen a Mantiqueen? Why was he interested in Mantiqueens? Why was he interested in Mantiqueens? Well, I mean, it's because they were trying to populate that, the museum in Edgewater, right?
Who wouldn't be?
People who value self-preservation, Sebastian. But did he say anything more specific? Let's go for
now
the
that
first one
just
first.
sounds like a fancy way to say boring people.
A fancy way to say boring people. Alright, have you seen Mantiqueen?
Sure. They're real big. Hard to miss them.
Where?
Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett. But I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him. Tell you what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair deal?
Agreed, fair deal. Kugray, thank you very much for tuning in. Catch you around. Have a good day. Alright, I'll keep an eye on it.
Alright then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins. Last Mantiqueen I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Could be Mr. Pickett still out there, too.
Alright, let's see what you have to trade.
Oh, good. Celia hasn't come by in a few days, so I haven't sold much.
Okay, Sister Big Tumors. Mantis Carapace. Yeah, that's just junk. Flank Hide. This isn't even marked as junk. What Celeste wants with this is anyone's guess. Celeste wants these? I don't even know if I know a Celeste yet. There's the Mantiqueen Sheeton. Sorry, Chitin. We should probably take the Chitin, I think.